Teenagers Harry and White, dreaming of fame, girls, and the respect of their peers, faced humiliation in front of the school's aerobics room, where girls work out. Suddenly, two bullies, Ian and Max, approached them from behind and pulled down their shorts. The disgraced Harry and White ran away. White's parents were away, so he invited Harry over to his house to visit. Harry didn't realize that White's dorky older brother, Chad, would be at the house, or he would have declined the sleepover. Later, Chad would come over at night to check that White hadn't done anything wrong. Before bed, the friends watched a movie about Frankenstein's monsters coming back to life. While watching it, Harry had a crazy idea to model a girl on White's brand new computer and ask her what a real man should be like for girls to like him. White thought the idea was stupid, but agreed anyway. The first step in modeling was breast size, and then they set about shaping the brain. However, White's computer power wasn't enough to create a really realistic model of the girl, so they hooked up the internet, hacked into government servers, and used their power. The guys caught wind, put bras on their heads, hooked the doll up to wires, and fed the computer lots of images of beauties and scientists to make the girl smart. Harry and White weren't really expecting much, as they were just fooling around. But then something incredible began to happen. The house shook, lightning flashed in the sky, a strong wind blew. They tried to turn off the computer to stop it, but they couldn't. Finally, everything subsided, and from the bathroom emerged a beautiful woman dressed as the doll they were hooking up to the computer. Then all three of them decided to go partying. The friends put on Chad's garish clothes, but after leaving the room, the magic that created the girl turned those clothes into stylish costumes. They got into a gorgeous pink Cadillac convertible and drove to the bar. On the way, the guys came up with a name for the stranger, Lisa. Why Lisa? Why not? Lisa explained to them that since they had created her, she would honor their wishes. At a bar where high school kids would never be allowed, Lisa made Harry and Wyatt driver's licenses to prove their age. Then they sat down at a table with the local regulars and drank themselves into oblivion. Harry talked about his ex-girlfriend Lisa, after whom they named the stranger from the computer. As the story progressed, Lisa corrected Harry's story to make it seem cooler. When the guys were completely drunk, they went home. At home, Chad was waiting for them, angry at his brother and ready to beat him up. However, White promised to pay Chad $175 not to tell his parents anything. White took Harry to his room and put him to bed, and he went to the yard to find Lisa. The girl hid behind his back to scare him, and then began to teach him the wisdom of relations with women. In the morning, the friends thought that Lisa and everything else they just dreamed. But then they heard her voice from downstairs. The girl was calling them to breakfast. When White crawled out from under the blanket, it turned out that he was in Lisa's underwear. They had swapped underwear after a raucous 10 seconds last night. Going downstairs, White found breakfast waiting for him, and Lisa was in her pajamas. As the girl left for the kitchen, Chad walked in wearing only a towel. Seeing the women's underwear on his brother, he promised to tell his father. In the afternoon, the friends went to the mall to buy Lisa some perfume as a gift. After sitting down to rest, a cocktail was spilled on them by Ian and Max. They had come to hang out with girlfriends Dips and Hallie. The girls didn't appreciate what the guys did and considered breaking up with them. Meanwhile, Ian and Max met Lisa and were speechless at her beauty. They followed her and saw her being picked up by Harry and White in a Porsche. Lisa invited the guys to a party at Wyatt's house. It was a surprise for Wyatt, too, but Lisa talked him into hosting the hangout, since he and Harry had been wanting to be cool for a long time. It turned out to be more difficult with Harry. Lisa had to talk his parents into letting her son go to a party with an adult girl. Harry's parents lost their temper and wanted to call the police, so Lisa had to threaten them with a gun to get them to let her son go to a friend's house. Although later it turned out that the gun was a water pistol. The friends expected a few acquaintances to show up, but they turned out to be a little more than that. 100 school children descended on White's house. Like locusts, they swept away all the snacks and food and began imbibing liters of alcohol. Both Deck and Helly were among the guests. Harry and White hid in the bathroom for most of the party. They were afraid to go outside and show themselves to all these cool school kids. That's when Deck and Hallie found them. The guys decided that the girls fell for them and already wanted to hit on them, but the girlfriends had already left. And instead of them in the toilet with a good only two cheerful fat girls. Meanwhile, Lisa tells Anne and Max that she happily fulfills all the wishes of Harry and White and obeys only the two of them. The pals want to get their hands on Lisa and ask Harry and White to borrow the girl for the evening. The friends announce that they have created her on the computer, and Ian and Max get the idea to get a girl like her for themselves. White's grandparents are having dinner at a restaurant. The caring grandmother remembers that their grandchild is alone for the weekend and decides that they should visit their grandson and grace him with their presence. While the grandparents go to visit, Harry, White, and young Max model another girl. They all have protective helmets made of brass on their heads and large female breasts on the monitor. There's another overload on the government servers. However, the guys forgot the main thing, to connect the doll to the wires. Some devilish things start happening in the house. Furniture, clothes, people, everything flies into the fireplace chimney and falls in the yard. School children are transported to horror movies and roll around on the ceiling. And White's parents from the family photo start dancing. A computer reads an image of a Pershing missile from a magazine cover and creates it in White's house instead of a girl. Grandpa and Grandma arrive in the middle of the party. They see the rabid crowds and are ready to ruin everyone's fun when Lisa shows up. She can't let them call the police, so she uses her powers and locks White's relatives in a closet with happy smiles on their faces. White and Harry are completely mortified by what's happening. And then Lisa comes up with an idea for how they can prove themselves, become the heroes of the party, and earn everyone's respect. She materializes mutant bikers in front of White's house, who burst inside, destroy everything, and scare the school children. However, the friends are not going to kick them out of the house, despite Lisa's insistence. Harry and White are hiding in the pantry when one of the thugs breaks through the wall and drags White outside. They begin to bully and humiliate their friends in front of their guests. But the boys aren't ready to stand up for themselves now. Then the thugs grab Deck and Hallie and start harassing them and threatening them with violence. Harry and White can't stay away. They politely but insistently ask the troublemakers to leave, and when they refuse, Harry threatens them with a gun, the same one Lisa used to threaten Harry's parents with. The bandits pass and obediently leave the house. Harry, however, deciding to demonstrate that the gun is a water pistol, pulls the trigger. Harry became a hero in this situation, and Deck and Holly immediately fell for them. When the guests dispersed, Helly stayed with Wyatt and Harry. In the morning, Chad returns home. He was on a hunting trip where he shot a herring, and he is holding a shotgun. Chad sees the devastation and mess, freaks out, and goes to track down his brother. In his room, Harry is sleeping in the same bed as White. He finds one in the next room. The younger brother is having a hard time and tells him about Lisa. In the kitchen, Lisa confirms her friend's story that they made her, and she caused this mess. Harry and White leave, and Lisa is left to deal with Chad. The friends went to walk their girlfriends home. Harry even had to dodge the police in his Ferrari. When they returned, Lisa had already turned Chad into a scary toad-like creature and took his word that he would never hurt his brother and his friend again. Harry and White decided to tell Lisa that they had found their girlfriends and they no longer needed the girl's help. Lisa was sad to say goodbye to them, but she left, disappearing into the mist. After her disappearance, everything returned to its usual places. Even Chad became human again, and just in time because White's parents arrived. But Lisa didn't disappear completely. She appeared in the gym as the new coach of the school team. This is the end of the movie. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and give it a like if it was interesting.